Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we are playing our fourth episode of Coriolis, the Deep Dark. I think we may be the only channel at the moment who is playing this solo, which is why I put it on the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure we're the only one playing solo at the moment. I've done a couple of searches and we're the only one playing solo. So we are on our fourth episode. Our diver, Georgia. I'm still in Belgium. We still got the echo. It's still I can't. So all the rooms echo because we have no things. We've gone from a half-life in Sydney to a less than half-life in Belgium, and we are preparing to go back to Sydney, where hopefully we can build a life and actually not have an echo in a room where we are. Which would be nice for a change. Anyway, we are diving, and so we have been doing our dive in the Great Dark, Great Dark. Georgia, the deep voice, our diver, has started to explore the howling mines within the Red Garden. Georgia is following a lead for a artifact, which we are going to need to find some clues to approach, which I just decided would be a nice story arc. And so the first clue will be there are some glyphs which are on a wall within the howling mines that were found by somebody, and we do not know what they say, but they will lead to another location. Once Georgia finds those glyphs, Georgia can attempt to interpret the glyphs. If Georgia can't, then Georgia can take a copy of them, and someone back at the base camp, which is very sparsely inhabited in the Red Garden, will be able to interpret it for us, so as we do not fail to move forwards. We need to move forwards to the next delve, so we can go then delving and explore to find the next piece of information. So we left Georgia after finding a broken artifact, which was a bloodstone, with a location, our first major location within this delve, whilst exploring deep down. Now we have a distance to exit of 9, which means we are still within our depth class of 2, and we have zeroed our foray distance because we have basically reached a location. So once you reach a location, you zero your foray distance, and you need to keep exploring to try and increase your foray distance to then increase the chance of when you find a location to locate the end of the delve. Now we only have 9 deep scan bonus left. We have 0 blight scan bonus because we haven't sent our bird Peter on a successful blight scan yet. We haven't managed to do that. So as I discussed, and I did a little short about it, about game loop, we are at the top of our game loop, which is the delving roll. So the delving roll is an agility roll. Now our suit is bulky, so we get -2 agility. So I'm going to chuck 2 of our deep scan bonus, which means we might have to do another deep scan to try and get our bonus back up. And it's a different way of doing it, so I'll have to look that up. It's a different way of doing it to get the bonus up a bit more. We've got scan operator. We're not doing scan, are we? So this is a delve, so we can either use our climbing kit or our pickaxe. Now we did say, if I remember rightly, this was some equipment and a cave. So let's say we can find, so this was an opening. Flooded an artifact. So this was in the island, wasn't it? Where we explored the island. So maybe we can find there's some water seeping into a crack going somewhere, and we're going to follow that down. So that would be the climbing kit, just in case we get some 0-1s and cause some damage. And what can we do? We've got endurance. Let's chuck in endurance. We're going to say we need to use endurance because we could have lookout, but that doesn't, or jury rig, None of those will really help with this, so we'll chuck endurance. So we're going to have to endure the moving down this thin crack, so there's water seeping down. We do have a fully sealed standard suit, so we have filters, and we can breathe in a vacuum. This is vacuum sealed, this suit. So Pater the bird is a construct, strictly speaking, so isn't really doesn't need to breathe anyway. So this is a water that we're going to be following down, a tunnel of water we're going to attempt to climb down, so we will waterproof our kit, and we attempt to climb down, which will then be another supply will be consumed. So we have been going for 1 hour, 2 hours. This is our third hour. So we've consumed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 10, 12 supply. Each one is about 15 minutes. So we've been going for 3 hours. We don't need to make camp or rest yet. We were hoping to be able to get this whole delve done in a day, down and back up again. So at top of the roll, we do a delve roll. We are looking for a hit, which is a 6, and for each one we move a marker, which will increase our distance to exit and our foray distance. We have no hits, and we have a 1. So if we pushed, we would take damage, which we would probably say as health damage. We could push it, but we are going to take at least 1 damage if we push. We have already taken 2 damage from our 9. We are going to push. We're going to push to see if we can make some distance here, which means that we roll everything apart from our 1s and 6s. We take 2 points of damage, but we have moved forward. So so maybe the oxygen gets a bit blocked, which causes some breathing panic from Georgia. So we've taken 4 damage of our 9. We're going to have to rest soon. But we do have our exit goes up by 1, and our foray distance goes to 1. So we've come out at the bottom of this, the water starts to pour out. There's like maybe it's a spout or a fountain, but let's roll and see what we come up with, and then we can decide if we have something. So we start off with 2. We're going to use 1, which is our extra deep scan bonus. Our foray distance is 1. So we potentially could get a 19, which is another location, but we definitely cannot get an end point. That needs a 20, but more than likely this is a hazard. We've got 6, 7, 8. We've got 13. We have a 14. A 14 is at the top point of a hazard. So we encounter a hazard, which means we need our hazards tables. We roll we will say the black die is going to be what type of class of explorer this type of encounter will be, this hazard, and then our which basically there's no point even rolling. Oh, it's plus foray distance. Is it plus foray distance, or is it plus depth? It's the distance to exit, which at the moment is 10, which means all of ours are the top level hazards, so there's no point rolling this one. So we have a 2, which is scout, which is haunting voice. So maybe it's the pressure. So the oxygen deprivation is causing a pressure exchange within the helmet of Georgia, which is causing Georgia to panic. Georgia needs to make a logic roll to be able to hold themselves together. Our logic is 5, and not panic adversely. Now, can we throw anything into this? I don't think we can. Can we put anything into this? This is a logic roll. We could put endurance. I'm going to throw endurance in and to see if that one wasn't there. But a 6 is a pass. So Georgia is holding themselves together. We have a hazard. Right, so we have our hazard. Now the next thing we need to check is our blight check. So we've come out of the water. We've had the pressure building up as we sort of shoot out at the bottom of the water. Now we're going to need to do another continuing foray. So there's not a major event here, but we do have potentially have blight. We start with 2 dice, add a number of base dice equal to the delve class. Our delve class is a 1. Add a number of base dice equal to our current depth. Our current depth is a 2. We have no blight scan to be able to reduce this. So any 1s we roll, which means we encounter blight. 2. So we have 2 blight, which means I am going to have to pause for a bit and work out how we take blight damage, because I haven't worked that out yet. Okay, so how blight works is, so you're taking blight effect. Now this is the reason why we have such a bulky suit, is this suit has a blight protection of 5. So we've taken 2 blight damage. We then, it just happens that we have 5 dice here. We then roll our blight protection. For every 6, the suit absorbs blight. Now we do have a special filter, which means once per delve, we can put 2 dice into this by burning that filter, by stopping the blight coming in through the filter. And for each failure, we will take a heart damage. We have 10 heart, we've taken no heart damage. So we take 2 heart damage because our suit does not protect us against the blight. So we have blight. So this was a hazard, haunted sound, and then we took blight damage. So we have checked our blight, and we have no location, so we are back to the top. Now we can't make camp, which is how we could heal our blight damage and our physical damage, because we haven't found a location, and our last blight check was we found blight, so this is a bad area. So we have come out into this pool, and maybe we would imagine that we are underwater at the moment and attempting to swim through this underwater space, which we can see there's still elements of blight floating in the water around us, which must have been washed off from somewhere and have collected here. So this area has a collection of blight within it, so we want to get out of this area. And then once we get out, we might need to do another deep scan. So what we're going to do is we would then burn 2 more of our deep scan, leaving us with only 4 deep scan. We definitely need to do another deep scan because it's getting a bit dangerous now, which gives us our 4. We will use the climbing kit, and we are going to do lookout to attempt to increase our delve roll. So we've used 2, so we get 4 from our agility. We take 2 off because of our bulky suit and 2 on because of our deep scan bonus. So we will now roll this and see what we get. We need as many 6s as we can, which gives us 2 6s and a 1, which means that we could take 1 more point of damage. Now we've got 4 points of damage, so we're swimming underwater. I am tempted to push this harder to see if we can get more 6s. So we're going to push this, see if we can get some more 6s. We don't, and we take 2 points of damage, which absolutely is a crying shame. So we take 2 more points of damage. We are really getting battered. We are going to have to find camp soon. We've got 3 hit points left. And our foray distance goes up by 2. Our distance to exit goes up by 2, which puts us into depth class 3. As the water washes down and we come out somewhere, hopefully, we will consume 1 of our deep scan bonus to give ourselves a plus D6. We've got our foray distance of 3, which means potentially 18, 19, 20, 21, we potentially can wash out. If we wash out at the end, that'll be awesome. We don't, so we've got 12 plus 3 is 15, which is a location, which isn't also great because it means that we zero our foray distance again. So we have found a location. Is that right? So 6 and 6 is 12 plus 3 is 15. We at this location we can rest, can't we? As long as we don't have a blight scan, a blight at this point, we can rest. So we've got a location. We will then do a blight check in the location, which is 2, number of base dice stealth 1. For our depth, we are now at 3. We have no blight scan bonus, but we're going. Oh, we need to go. That was a hazard, so we need to do one more. I'm going to use up 2 supply, and we're going to strike camp here, I think. So as long as we don't get any blight, which we do, we have 1 blight here, so we're not going to be able to do a camp at this location. So we do have blight. We can roll for the suit for 5. We need 1 6, and we do not get a 6. We will use the filter, and we get 2 6s. Excellent. So we used up the filter, so we can't use that again. But we are not affected by the blight. But there is blight in this area, so there's blight here. We then need to expose our location. Which means we need to roll on our oracles or our spark tables, as we call it in this game, for our environment and our environment feature. So our environment this is where we come out of the water, blighted, okay? No lie, that's what it says. Blighted, and then we've got feature. Is 24 construct. Okay, so we have blighted and construct. So we've come out. So construct, we can say it's a temple. Let's say this is because we've got all the stones. So this is a temple. We can, when we have exposed an area. Different interpretations. Reset our foray distance. So we will use up another supply, which means we have another half empty area as we're consuming more oxygen. So this is a blighted temple. So there are glyphs here, and the glyphs are etched with blight. We can see that there is currently a small amount of blight in this temple. These huge stones carved with massive glyphs as big as Georgia's torso. Each glyph is as big as the torso. They're carved deeply into the stone as Georgia casts their halogen lamp across the expanses of these humongous stones that have clearly been placed here in some form of. The only way that the Delvers describe it is a temple. As this light casts across them, we can see it rippling across the blight, which has crawled up the stonework and covered this area. Not thick blight as Georgia has seen before. This is quite thin on the ground, this blight, but it still has made this area unsafe to stay in for too long. So Georgia is going to quickly hunt around. We have lookout, which gives us a 2. We have perception, which gives us a 5. Is there any equipment? Maybe we can say that Georgia is going to use the pickaxe to hack away at the area and see. So this, I guess, would be hope damage, and see if we pushed it, but we won't. To see if Georgia can find anything. A 6. No, we've got 2 1, so that would destroy the pickaxe if we push that. So pulling the blight off of the stones. It is just stonework that we can find in this area. There is nothing of great interest. Georgia decides it is too dangerous to stay in this area any longer, but is going to do another scan, a deep scan. So what we do is we make another deep scan roll, and for every hit we get +2 to our deep scan bonus. And so deep scanning is a logic check, I'm pretty sure. I'm not even going to check it up because I'm going to say it is. We have the scan operator ability at 2. We have a deep scanner which gives us a +3. So we roll this, and for every 6 we get +2 on our deep scan bonus. We have only 3 bonus left, which means we get 1, 2, 3, and we have too many 1s to allow us to push anything. So we get 2, 4 plus 6, giving us 9, and consuming another one of our supply. Georgia, have we come down far enough to do another? We could try and do a blight scan as well, actually. I think we've come far enough that we could do another blight scan. This is insight, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Can we do anything to augment that? I mean, I could chuck in scan operator to say with the Garuda device that we can operate it. We know how to operate a scanner, and we'll do that. For every 6, we get a +1 to our blight scan bonus. So we consume another supply, and so we've been here for half an hour waiting to see what happens, and we say to Peter, I need advice on the blight in this area, says Georgia, operating the device, the big Garuda device, which allows the communication between the operator and the bird to try and get some form of blight scan. We have this bird does not understand a word that Peter says, and that one means that we're not going to push this. So still with a 0 blight scan bonus, Georgia is going to keep their eye out, burn 2 of those, taking us to 7, so we can have a 4. We're going to leave this area, we're going to hack a hole in the wall, pickaxe, and attempt to leave this area via a weak area, what looks like it's a cave-in at the back where the temple has formed, and see if we can clear the blight from that area and proceed forwards and continue on exploring. We need 6s for hits. Can we get anything else in there? We've got our 4 for our base with our pluses, and then we've got 2 for our lookout and 2 for the pickaxe. We have 1 hit, which is all right, because that means it's at least a successful delve, which still keeps us within our distance to exit of a 13. We've got 1 for our foray distance. We will burn, that gives us a 19 is the most we can have. So we are not going to take a 19, we'll go for a hazard, which is a 2d6 + 1 as our foray distance, which gives us a 7, which gives us an 8. An 8 is a hazard. We will roll this to see what it is. It's a 5. We haven't had that. So we have a 5. It's going to be max because we're getting down to the depths now, where everything is a bit more tricky. A 5 is the archaeologist. A 9/5 is a dimensional rupture. Roll insight. Fail, suffer a blight attack. 4 base dice, base blight 1, and become shaken. A dimensional rupture. Okay, so we're pushing through the blight in this area, and do we do a blight check for this? Is there a blight check after here? Reveal? Yes, we still have to do a blight check for this area. So we're pushing through this area, tearing the blight, which actually is here, out, so as we can get through. It's a long tunnel where we're tearing away the blight, and as we're doing that, the pressure of being here begins to cause Georgia to think they're seeing things, but actually the temple has caused, there is some level of technology within the temple causing a dimensional connectivity to allow the builders to communicate, or wherever they went when they elevated, which means that there is some form of rupture, a dimensional rupture, which is causing confusion for Georgia, which is insight. How about lookout to make sure that Georgia can see the reality that's occurring around them. I don't think there's anything else can help us, and try and hold on to the reality and not suffer a fail, hopefully. No, we're fine. We get 2 hits. So Georgia seems to be okay at holding themselves together in these situations. So the rupture, so we've got a hazard, dimensional rupture. And then let's see if we've got any blight here. A blight check, 2 dice, 1 for a thing. We are now on level 3, so we might get more blight, and we have a 0 on our blight scan bonus. We get 3 blight here. Okay, so we've got 3 blight. We will roll the suit. There's no way we're going to protect against 3. We protect against 2. So 1 gets through, so we do have blight. So 1 blight damage comes through. So this area is blight. So we're getting deeper and we're starting to encounter the blight more often now because we're going deeper into our delve. Our foray distance is still at our 1. Georgia is starting to get a bit worried that we are not going to actually find this thing, and we're going to be too damaged before we can actually get anywhere and get these glyphs. So we'll consume 1 supply. We will consume 2 deep scan bonus. We have our lookout, and we will continue using the pickaxe to continue hacking away at the blight in this area, which obviously there's a lot of blight here. And we then start to move forward. 2 6s, excellent. 2 6s and lots of 1s. That gives us a foray distance of 3. It puts us to a. We're still on the edge. We've got a distance to exit of 15. We'll have to work out how we use that to get out of here. We're at depth class 3. So we have that. And that now we need to work out our. Now, if we roll a 12, so what have we got? If we rolled an 18 plus 3 gives us a 21, so our odds aren't good. So we want that foray distance to go up. So we are just going to encounter. We're probably going to encounter hazard, which we do. We get a 4, 5, 6, 7, which means we get another hazard as we're pushing through this blight. A 1. Is a Delver, Dark Ice. Roll Insight, suffer 2 blight and become shaken if we fail. So we've got Dark Ice. What on earth would Dark Ice be? Maybe the water has seeped from that previous bit and it's started to, we've noticed that it's along the ground and the icicles have begun to form. As we push forward through this blight, the dimensional rupture is still chasing us down. Our foray distance is 3, so we've moved through additional markers. We would then have the ice is beginning to crystallize around our boots as we're moving, this dark ice, which is imperviating us and making us feel as though we are unsure of why we are down here. Insight, so we need to look into our own insight. I'm going to say endurance to keep, I keep knocking that, endurance to keep going. We need 1 hit to succeed at this as we're pushing forward, and the ice, we're pulling the ice away from our boots as we're moving on deeper into this oh good, thank God for that. I don't want to be shaken. Are we already shaken? No, we are exhausted, which is strength. So if we try to make any sort of check on our strength is a problem. So we're cracking away at the ice as we're moving forwards. We are now on 3. This is our blight check. We have no 1s. Okay, so no blight. The ice, dark ice, we are pushing through. We are beginning to move deeper down this tunnel. There are entrances off. I'm suspecting that we might reach the end soon. Entrances off the side of this tunnel are covered in blight, and we are poking our heads through and trying to check it as this ice is starting to form around our boots. We now are down to 3 scan bonus, giving us a 4, giving us. Shall we go lookout again? We'll go lookout. We are using our pickaxe again. We really need to get our foray distance up as we're going deeper. The tunnel seems to be sloping down now and it's becoming slippery underfoot. We're holding onto the dying tendrils of blight and holding our hands on the edges of these rocks as Pater flies around us, trying to keep an eye on us. We have 2 hits. 2 hits is all right. That gives us a foray distance of 5 and puts us to an exit of distance of 17, which moves us down into depth class 4. As we come down, we then now have our location check, don't we? We've got a 5 as our foray to distance. I am going to burn one of our scan bonus, giving us a plus 1d6. So we need to roll a 15 on this, which isn't highly likely, is it? Plus our 5 to get, or we could go for another hazard. We could do one more hazard, which would push our foray distance up, which is a 12, which would be a 17, which means that our probability of getting a hazard is high. All right, so we are actually going to not do that. So that still means we have 3 deep scan bonus, which means that we can go 1 hazard, we'll do 1 more foray distance. Maybe we won't use the 2 at this one, which means that we then should hopefully be able to go deeper and then be able to find. So this is our location, plus 5 to this. We've got 9, which is a 14. A 14 is still a hazard. We will find out what type of hazard, which is a 5. 5 is the dimensional rupture comes up. Again, we're slipping on this ice, and we keep being hit by all these visions of this strange hallucinogenic visions. This is an insight roll, which is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to do endurance to hold on. We need at least 1 hit, or we suffer a blight attack. We get 1 hit. So Georgia is holding on to their sanity. We get a 2, we get a 1, and we now have a depth of 4. This is to see if there's blight in this area. There is no blight in this area, so we've cleared the blight. We have cleared the bottom. We've moved deeper into the tunnel structures. We've got an exit of distance of 17. We have a foray distance of 5. We will do a 4 for our agility, minus 2 because of the suit, plus 2 because of lookout, plus 2 because of the pickaxe. We have got 3 deep scan bonus left. I am loath to use that in this. We need to get a 6. If not, we need to get some 6s. If not, we need to push this. We have got 1 6 and we would take 1 damage. We can attempt to push to get this out. We have only got 3 hit points left, so taking just that 1 6 might be enough. So we now have a foray distance of 6 and we have a distance to exit of 18. We now need to do our location check, which we will use one of our deep scan bonuses. So this is, we've pushed down this tunnel, we've had the dimensional ruptures impacting us, we've had various different things happening. The black ice is still forming around our feet. Peter is going around. Georgia is breathing deeper and deeper. We can reach the bottom of the tunnel. We need this plus a plus 6, which is 6, which is 11, 12, that's 14. That's 14, which is 6, which is 11, which is 14, plus the 6 is 20. All we needed was 20. So we have come down to the bottom of the tunnel. The ice at the bottom, let's make, no, we're just gonna make Georgia is gonna slip because that's good story-wise. So as Georgia is trying to help hold on to the sides of the tunnel, edging down the sides of this tunnel, edging down to the bottom, all of a sudden Georgia's feet slip out from under them and they go onto their bum and begin to slide down this tunnel, which then pushes through this blight. So we have, so what is this? This is the end. And then we'll work out how we come back from it next session. But we hit the, actually we'll explore it next session. We hit the bottom of this tunnel and the blight there's like a curtain of old decaying blight which shatters into tiny bits as Georgia slips out. The pack, which has always been tied to the rope around Georgia's waist, catches on the edge of the side of the wall as Georgia slams into the side of the wall. And looking down, Georgia can see that there is a temple here. Let's do a blight check. Just do a blight check here to see if there's any blight in this area, which is 2 + 1 + 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if there's blight in this area. There is blight in this area, so there is 2 points of blight, which we'll do with that next session as well. So there is blight all over this area, which Georgia is going to have to deal with. And we can see blight is active in this area as Georgia is swinging. So we're going to end with Georgia swinging on rope, needs to get down. And that's where we're going to leave Georgia, in the end part of the cavern at the end of this delve. Georgia will deal with the delve next session and then try and get out to then try and work out what happens next. Georgia will have to try and, we have the book of glyphs to try and read the glyphs in this end bit to try and get the information of where the next delve is, and we'll delve in the next area and moving forwards with a slightly deeper delve. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy that. That is Coriolis, the deep dark, the great dark. Thank you for watching. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you are not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. It helps other people know that this channel exists. It helps you know when new things come out, and we do new games all the time. And it basically helps the algorithm know that everything is groovy and lovely. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for your support. The Adventurers Guild financially supports by joining the YouTube memberships. There's a join button which you should see on the app as well as the desktop. It might even go highlighty when I say the word join. That is financial support for myself to help the channel keep going. This is what I'm doing now. I do this and I write books that you can buy on DriveThruRPG. But talking about the Adventurers Guild, the Superfan Thank You gets access to our weekly podcast, which is me wittering. It's an audio podcast. And also there are some polls, and there are member posts. Then there's the early doors level. The early doors level gets early access to the videos weeks before they are released to the general public, and can make comments. All levels of the membership at some level can make comments about what I do next, or our ideas, or I bounce ideas off people. You can also support by joining the Patreon. It's a very low barrier of entry to join Patreon. All the trifolds I produce, such as this is the only one I've got here in Belgium, which is Build a Better Villain, but there are lots of trifolds being produced. They get free trifolds as they come out. That's like the last 2 or 3 they get. And we get lots of other free stuff and discounts for the patrons, and I'll leave it at that. I'll stop selling my words. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, where we will work out what is at the end of this delve, and Georgia will get off at the end of a rope, hopefully. Bye.